create another interactive page for our journal. Let's create a fun heart page where we can add a message to the middle. Welcome, this is Barbara from Vienna, Austria, and this is your channel for vintage inspired art. So I'm going to be tackling prompt number 24, which says, what message would you like to share with the world? As always, I'm circling this. As always, this prompt list is linked for you below, but you don't need this to enjoy making this heart. This is just what I'm going to use for my message in the middle. So let me show you how to construct this. It's really fun and easy. I'm planning to put my heart in this unfinished signature. As always, I have a link below with all my journal or junk journal with me's where you can see how I constructed all of these pages. So today we're going to be working on this last page here of the signature. And what I'm going to be using to construct the heart is one page of dictionary, vintage dictionary. This was sent to me in Happy Mail. And also a strip of coffee dyed paper. Now the dimensions you will need, usually, you know, I don't like giving you measurements, but this time I realized to make this work, you need measurements. So for the message in the middle, you will need one of these, so in inches or in centimeters. This is your little strip in the middle. And then for the heart, you will need two pieces with these measurements, again in inches or in centimeters. So two of these and one of these. These are going to be forming the two heart sides. So I'm going to go ahead and trim down my pieces. So that's my piece for the message. And these are my two pages for the heart halves. So if you have text or any images that need to be in a certain direction, you want to make sure that you cut them the right way. Okay, so let's start off with the heart parts. I want this to be the front side. So I'm going to turn this around, and just to see where the center is, I'm just gonna make a tiny crease up here so that I know that that is the center. And then I'm going to fold in both of those corners all the way to the center. So this is going to form a triangle. Like this, okay? And next we're going to just fold down the tip, and I'm folding it down about halfway. So like this. So that is the top of our heart. And then we need to fold a line between this corner and this corner, so a diagonal. Like that, and then we don't want this part going over our line here, so we're just gonna fold this in, which makes it a little bit more sturdy as well. Just like this. So that is our first half of the heart. So we'll do the same thing with the other one, just the last fold is going to be from the other side. So again, I want this to be the front. I will turn it around. I will mark where my middle is, just on top here. Then I will fold the two corners into the middle. Then I fold the top corner down about halfway. And now this time, instead of connecting these two, we need to connect the opposite corners. So from here to here. So we'll fold it into the right this time. And again, we're gonna fold this last bit in. So these are our two halves of the heart. So here's our middle piece. We're going to start by folding in the two outsides about 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. I'm not even gonna measure this. And then I think it's easiest to turn the heart around and make sure that these two halves are together so they're touching in the middle. So now we take our paper, the folds are pointing up, and we're going to place them onto the square, onto the heart, and then we're going to push this down, making sure, first of all, that the fold lines up and that these corners don't peek out from the heart sides. So we know now it's like this. That was a horrible explanation. I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain this better. So we have this shape now, like this, and it can open like this. So the important thing is that you have a square here that does not peek out from the edges of the heart. Because then when we turn it around, after we glue it, it will fold out like this. So next we are going to glue down all of our parts. So I will glue down first these triangles that we folded in. Then I will glue that down that top corner. Then I'll glue down this flap and the bigger flap. And I'll do exactly the same thing for the other half. Next, I'm going to ink up the sides with my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. This is just because I want it looking even more vintage. Of course, you don't have to use book pages. You can use a beautiful patterned paper. I wouldn't use anything too thick, like a thick cardstock. I don't think it's gonna work that well because of the folding. But if you have maybe a printout of a nice digital kit or something, that would work well. And I'm also going to ink up this piece here, which is our middle piece, and I just need to ink up the parts that we're going to see. So that's the top and the bottom here. And then I think I also want to ink up the crease like that. I think that's all we will see. And now we can go ahead and glue this on the back. And I'm going to put glue on both of my flaps. And I'm going to glue this down, making sure my heart is touching in the middle and aligned correctly. And then I need to glue this down so that, again, the corners do not peek out. And then I'll just press that down. Yep, so from the back now it looks like this. And from the front, it looks like this. I'm going to take this page out of my signature to be able to work on it better. So this is the page where this is going to go, and of course there's not much to see here. So we're definitely going to be decorating that a little more. But first I want to share the message with you that I wanted to share with the world. And I have searched a little bit online and I found a message that I really like and I think that needs to be shared with the world. And I've printed it out and it says, use your voice for kindness, your ears for compassion, your hands for charity, your mind for truth, and your heart for love. So now maybe you know why I wanted to make a heart for this. And I want to put the heart in the middle here, but that kind of looks bland, so we definitely need to do some more decorating. Since I would like to use some of my Happy Mail items, I'm going to be using this beautiful book page that I received quite a while ago, because I love these pink flowers. And I'm going to kind of put that as a background somehow. So I'm going to just tear this. To refold it and make sure that the creases are still okay. You can of course handwrite a message in the middle. You could just not even put this in your journal and just handwrite a message to a loved one and give them the heart, maybe put it on a card or something. Many options. Okay. And we could maybe add some butterflies. Let me see if I can find some small ones. I will mention it again. Tina from Shabby Dabby Judah has a free printable of butterflies, vintage butterflies. I will link that for you below. And I also have a freebie for butterflies for this first week of my shop opening. So from September 1 to September 7, I have a couple of digitals that are free, and the butterfly images is one of the freebies. So go check that out before it's too late. So here's a little pink one. Oh, I think I just want one, actually. That's very cute. Yep, I will do that. Just want to be sure not to glue it over the fold here, because then it would bend as well and probably it would come off with time. Okay, that's very cute. And now I also want something, of course, for the front here. Should we do more butterflies? Always butterflies. We're in September now and I'm still using butterflies. Yeah, a butterfly for this kind of page just works better than a mushroom, I guess. Something like this, because this way we can just cut him and then that'll be really cute. I like that. Which other big ones do I have? No. Yellow? No. This one is nice. This one is really pretty, right? Or this one? No, I like this one. So I will cut him in half, poor guy. And then I will glue him down. So obviously we want him to line up in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna re-ink those edges where I glued him on. And I also want to add his antennas or feelers. So there we are, and then it opens into this. Okay, the colors don't really match, but okay. And I don't really want this background to stay. I want the background to have some images. And I have copied this Edith Holden page that someone had sent me, but I don't want to use the original page. It's also quite thick, so I would rather use a copy. So I'm going to draw around my page very roughly. I'm gonna cut it smaller anyway, or I think I'll tear it with my tearing ruler. And I'm going to use my Joycraft tearing ruler, which I also have linked for you below. And I'm tearing just a little bit inside the lines that I have just drawn because I don't want the page to go all the way to the end of my book page. I will ink this up. Let's see how this would look. So we put this here. And then we have our heart. Yep, so there's 2 more butterflies visible, but this one definitely stands out the most. And then this stands out a lot as well. Okay, let's do this. Another fun thing to use as a background image would be a decoupage napkin. Make sure there's no bubbles or creases anywhere. Make sure it's adhered all the way to all of the edges. And before we actually stick these down, there's one more thing I want to do. I would like to keep this heart kind of closed. So I thought I would take, this is one of these like thin packaging twines. And I thought we would just put this underneath, and that way we could have it tied shut with a bow, and then you could open it. So I need to figure out where to glue this. It would be great actually to have it right in the middle of the butterfly, I think. Yep, that should be long enough. So let's turn this around. Now we know where to glue it. And finally, we can glue down this whole back piece. Please don't glue down the whole heart, because then it won't open. But we can glue down this whole piece, the square piece. I just want to be careful because this book page is a bit fragile. I don't want to, of course, tear these edges. So I will kind of loosely tie the bow. Okay, this is not ideal because this is going to tear, I'm afraid. So what do we do? Okay, what it means is that we need to strengthen these backs of the heart. I have some 200 GSM cardstock here, and I'm just gonna draw this heart shape. see if the same one should work on the other side. Yep, so I will draw this again. So we need 2 of them. And then we'll just glue those on the back. Actually, that's better anyway, because that way the back sides will look prettier in case we ever like unfold them like this. They will look prettier. Yeah, we should have done that from the beginning. Totally makes sense. Just going over it again. So now the back sides are looking much neater, so that's great. So let's try this again. Yeah, now I don't have to worry about tearing the edge of the paper. This is perfect. It's not exactly in the middle of the butterfly. So there it is. We could of course add the prompt name here if we wanted to. I could maybe just write a message to share with the world. So there's our page for this prompt. And then you can pull it apart. I think it's cute. I just love interactive pages. I think they're so much fun to have in your journal. Lots of surprises for you to look at, especially if you look back on it maybe in a few years. This is so fun. Something different to pockets and tuck spots, although I think we all love those. But this is just adding a few different elements to our journals. I'm gonna put this back. And so that's our current page. And now what I'm missing still is this one. And I don't know if I'm gonna put something on this. I mean, I love the mushrooms. And everything else is done. So definitely need to do this one then. So thank you again for hanging out with me as always. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah.